we seem to be in some sort of Russian radio kick at the moment, kick being the previous one. But while I'm looking at Russian radios, I thought I might have a quick look at this. This is a Sokol 403 2-band 7 transistor no IC radio from 1971. And these are very common, and unlike British sets, again, these Russian sets, they had a socket on the back for mains, and also an antenna socket on the small portable radio. Isn't that cool? But this one, of course, is one that's again in a bit of a way, and so let's have a look and see if we can get some life out of this one. You know, it isn't often that a set beats me, and that Meridian set won't. But for now, I'm going to leave it and get on with other things. First of all, I noticed with this that the screws are missing from the back. There's that is missing from probably the speaker. There's no PP3 connector, which is not a problem. And again, the screws missing over the show, so this is in a bit of a way. Again, I get them in this way because I like them in this way. I get them going in the end, but in this case, like many others, not straight away. So let's open it and see what ensues, or doesn't ensue, the case maybe. These sets actually they came out in brass numbers. So you know, there are an awful lot of this. Also, I noticed this has not got a tuning string on it either. I don't know where the string has gone from it. It's not in here, and nor is the pointer. So that's something else which we need to have a look at. But looking at it, it doesn't seem to be much about with too much. And so the first thing we need to do, I've looked at the circuit, by the way. I've not got it with me here because, of course, my printer's run out of ink, and in these troubled times, things like that are easy to get hold of. So that is some point. I think it is there actually. What's that? No, that's something else. That, not to worry. I will find a way of doing that at some stage. But first of all, we need to find out whether the thing works and what it does do, and what it doesn't do, what it should do, and what it shouldn't. The case, by the way, is in reasonable condition. It's nice. Now, with this thing being in a case, actually, I might be able to get away with a few other ways of doing things in the back here. Again, we'll have to see on that one. But for now, I'm going to concentrate first of all on getting the set to work again, which is the main thing that sets should do, especially in here, by the way. This set being transistorized only rather than ICs, it shouldn't be quite so difficult to sort out, but obviously that is something which we'll sort out in the nick of time, nick of somebody's time anyway. By the way, at the moment, I hear a button. We are still in lockdown, almost complete lockdown. So at the moment we've got that to contend with as well. The first thing we'll do is see what this speaker's like, if we can. Oh, there you are. Speaker's working fine. Speaker is working fine, so that's something. So now, this set being made in transistorized, I know for a fact that it's positive ground. So I'll find a good way of finding it how best to do that. Again, in the nick of time, as it were. So that goes like that, and so that goes there, and so obviously it goes from here to there and there to here. That really, I think we'll put something over that. It's November, there's still flies in here. Kid you not. November and there's still flies in this place. This set, by the way, does actually have a lot of cigarette burns and stuff on it, so there's something there as well. I don't know what, but there's something. Like I said, this can be done off external supply, but I'm going to run it off a battery just for convenience's sake, really, as well, you know. Right, yeah, okay, so switch on that and we'll see where we could pick up a good earth and start looking at where to put the battery connector as well. I think there, that looks like earth to me, and so it should at some point be something. Should be something. That's okay, right? So that goes onto there. That does not, let's see, go to there. It should go there, but it's not doing. That's okay, so yeah, how about there? To there, to there, okay, okay. Yeah, with it switched off, that should still conduct. This should still conduct. Because only going from there to there. It does. Okay, fine. Okay. Okay, so that goes there, okay. Now the other side of it goes to the on-off switch. So that one, that goes onto there like that now, you see. That goes to the on-off switch. Or it should go to the on-off switch. It does. And it's going to come out of the on-off switch. It does, except we switch it off when it doesn't. Okay, so that's there. Okay, fine. So Next thing we do therefore is solder a battery clip on and the speaker on and see what we get, which is you know, there are people out there who tend to always want to change capacity and things before we start. If you put two engineers in a room, any two engineers, ask about capacitors, you'll get two different responses. Some say change a lot, some say change what we have to, some say change nothing, just switch it on. For me, it depends on the unit, the age and the sort of the capacitors. So, see, some capacitors will last better than others do. For example, the disc capacitors generally are okay. Paper capacitors and hot capacitors change them on site. Now, on a valve sort of course, the degree capacitor, that has to be changed straight away. Otherwise, you might lose a valve. But again, there are somewhere it's going to be okay and somewhere it won't. I had a Polish set a while back actually, Unitary, and it was a Unitary Irish sets. And the thing with them is that whether you like it or whether you don't, those sets, the one in question actually, because they had caps in that lasted okay, I didn't change anything because I didn't see the need to. Some people, with some of the sets of this kind actually, this particular Sokol set, it is not in as good a condition as I initially thought. This particular set, as you know, is silent. There you go. And what's more, the voltage from the battery, when you switch it on, drops from 8.3, there's flat battery there, to about 5.8. Yeah. So something is taking a lot of power. Now also this set up here near where the external connector for power is, the external connection for power on these is quite similar to the modern cassette lead connector, and so therefore I think this has had the wrong voltage put in it, and this is actually thought this way also because this here from there to there is short circuit, is open circuit. There it's fine. Yeah, there it's fine. There it's fine. There it's not good. So that track there has blown. Now, something to blow a track on a circuit board, it must have had quite a bang. The thing that we need to know at this point is, has that track blown before any really bad damage is done? Like I say, if I put this set on, can you see that? Can you? Let's think. I'll just get this where I can see it if I can. There you are. Can you see that? You can, right. Now, with this set, with it switched off, yeah, the voltage from this slightly fat but serviceable battery is about 8.4 volts. 8.4 volts, yeah. Switch it on and it drops to about 6 volts, yeah. So it's something here is taking quite a drop. Now, on these sets, most of it runs on 6 volts, apart from the power supply, apart from the power amps, which in this, the 2 transistors in push pull and 2 transformers. So there, with it switched on, it will be low as well. See, there as well. So with that in mind, I think the thing to do now is to start taking this thing apart and trying to find out precisely where it's failed. I personally think it's probably going to be the 8-put transistors, but again, I don't know for sure on that one. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to take these 8-put transistors, and they're going to come out of circuit because I think these are faulty. And if it's had this amount of power up it, they don't like it up them, as Dada may say, and it's quite true they don't. So for that reason, I think these 2 transistors need to come out and be looked at. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take them out as carefully as I can without soldering, and from that, with 2 of the legs out of the circuit, and see if the voltages come up. Okay, if the voltage comes up, then both these will have to be changed. If not, then well, I might change them anyway, because of course this machine has been through rather a lot. So that one is now out of circuit. Straight away. Did you hear that in the speaker then? Straight away. Right. Now, with that one out of circuit, I wonder now if it's going to be any more favourable to us. .412, so it's gone up a bit. Okay, right. So that one, obviously. Now the other one is this one here. So I'll take this one out as well, and then we'll see what it's come up to. If it's come up to a reasonable level, which I think it will actually, then I will sort out workable transistors for it. Now, if I've not got the workable Russian versions, which I probably haven't, a tip from the top is the AC127s going here rather well. So that's probably what I'm going to put in. I'll check my stock split and see what I've got, and maybe order something in. But for the moment, no. I really think that now, what is that going to come up as? We need to know. .84 volts. Now that means therefore that both of those transistors are more than likely faulty. Now with it like that, now there won't be anything from the bus test, but what we can do now is we can look at the oscillator and see if it's running. Because if it is, then we more than likely have our answer, don't we? So that goes to medium wave. There we go. That's medium wave, and this goes, I think, midway, and we'll see if we can pick anything up from this radio in another radio in the usual way. So medium wave,
winter period.
It doesn't seem to, does it? Put the top of the dial there, like that. Put the aerial close to it. And we'll that suggests to me that the oscillator in this radio is not running. Now don't worry, because it's not running doesn't mean it won't run, because of course here we're trying to fix things, so we know therefore that those two are faulty straight away. So now we find out about other transistors in this set, whether they are living or dead. I think with this, more than one may be dead, but there you go. Also, by the way, IF cams, but that's another story for another year, as they say. This set has a 9-volt supply to the output stage, and the rest of it is run off about 76 volts to a transistor which is at 220 ohms. The one that I took out, however, is rather more than that. It is in fact at something like 86 ohms, 86k, not 220 ohms, 86k, 86,000 ohms, and it looks blackened, so obviously that is obviously gone as well, so that can go as well. Now from the other side of there to deck, we have about 3.5 of them. Now whether that is right or not, I don't know, but I do think that that is probably nearer the mark than not. So I think, you know, that that may be about right. 3.6, 10.7, 3.8, 10.9. There are caps in the way, but 3.8 ohms, 3.8k. So that might be okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get the 220k, 220 ohm resistor, and put it in the unit. And when we do that, I can come back and see what is happening with it then, if anything. When the set has been got this way, shall we say, it's a different approach in a way, but not entirely. Remember PAIR? Well, at this point, I'm working on the power supply side. We get the power supply side of it up properly, and then of course take it from there. And something, obviously pull the power supply line down, the 8-put transistor, we've taken it, so that is now, as far as I can tell, okay. But there didn't seem to be any anything from the oscillator stage. Now the oscillator stage might be, but that means it might not, but once we get the correct power to it, then we can see. In its current state, it does in fact, or did, You might not hear that in camera, but it isn't in fact speaking to us. It's playing. I think that's Talk Sports. So we know, therefore, from that the IF and the RF side are okay, and possibly the driver transistor is okay as well. So now I'll have to leave the situation for a moment and go online and see what I've got transistor-wise to go in here. Then this radio, which has been voltage, by the way, the Russian mains voltage, just for your information, is 220 volts. So this has 220 volts up it, and it's on the bloody 8-pin transistors. This is a bloody good radio. It must be. Right, well, now I've put the AF128s in, sorry, AT128s in, and it's going but not very loud. At this point now we start looking at capacitors. You can, of course, and I'm going to do it here, you can, of course, look at capacitors and work out where they are in the circuit and which ones they would want to check out and which ones we don't. Also, you can't always do this. If capacitor is short circuit, putting a cap across it won't do anything. If on a main set, it's within capacitor. If that is open circuit, there's high voltage involved, so really I would advise you not to. But you can, in fact, in terms like this, do that. That tells me pretty much that capacitor there is the next problem. Look at the circuit. This is capacitor 28. You see, capacitor 28 there. Now capacitor 28 goes from the volume control to the audio stages, and with that faulty, nothing will get through. That capacitor has gone very, very high in value in ESR, and for that reason it will read high on a capacitive meter, and of course it will not work. So that capacitor has to come out, and a new one must go in its place. Now, I know that a lot of people wouldn't be too keen on me taking out a Russian capacitor and replacing it with a modern one. And I know that Sokol 66 in one of his sets actually decided to put the replacement capacitor under the chassis, which is fine. We can do that, and why we're not. But this set has had so much wrong with it, so much done to it. I'm just going to use it now to show how to get a set working in this situation. So, capacitor 28 is 1 microfarad, I've seen on this circuit here. So there we are. It's there. There we are. 1 microfarad, and that capacitor. The new one is smaller, but it will do the job perfectly well. It's not carrying any voltage at all. It comes from the volume control to the base of the first driver transistor. The driver transistors, by the way, in these are MR40s, and they can replace need be with AC125s, although I do have the Russian transistors in for that as well. So I will now put this transistor in and get back to you, and hopefully then we can look further in the circuit. Now, the next thing I'll look at here actually is the wave change switch, because the wave change switch does have a problem as well. Basically, it wants to be cleaned, wants to put back together properly, and these contacts do tend to lose conductivity over time, and also they tend to get very mucky, and so that's the next thing on the job. After that, of course, I think under the chassis one of the wire antennas come off. Now in this case it's not a problem because this circuit here, you see, it does have on it the antenna and where it goes in the circuit. These sets are very, very well documented, by the way, very much so. I wish British sets were, but yeah. So this set actually, Transistor Radio from a bygone time, from a different country with different ways behind it. The Americans and the British tended to be very much, you know, particularly these days, built in obsolescence. The Russians didn't, and this set, hundreds of these sets, thousands of these sets were sold, and they kept going for years. And indeed, this model went to several iterations, revisions, but kept going well into the 80s, and this one is a 1971 model. Right, well, as you can hear there, this is now working rather well. I've changed that capacitor there, which is C28, as I've said. I've also resoldered the antenna coils back on the board because they were coming off as well. And that has put the stations more or less back where they were. So now, there's only one thing I have to do now, and that is this switch here. Like I said, that needs to be done, and then put the radio together in its case, and then and only then go through it with the SIM generator and make sure it's okay. Then this plucky little radio is once again working after all that time and having mains across it, which is really quite wonderful for a set of its type. So yeah, these Russian sets, very, very good, very good. Do get one of these, not put the eBay price up, do get one of these because they are really, really good. And with an antenna socket as well, which I was also going to put back on. Right, now with the wave chain switcher part, and believe me, wave chain switches are the root of all evil on many radios, including transistor ones and unfortunately including Russian ones. The contacts on the board here, we're across there, these contacts here on the board, I think they're there, yeah. These have been sandpapered out inside, and this goes in there and it acts to switch from medium wave to long wave. It's this switch thing here which goes in between. Okay, that's the better shot of it there. Now people say, indeed Katie said, it looks a bit like a boat. Well, yeah, it does. If you look, and I can see why she says it, and why. Well, first of all, if you look at the top here, if you can see that, there you are. The top of them has two decks, if you will. The top end, top deck there. Hang on, I have to put it down. There we are, like that. You see, there are two decks, if you will. The top deck with the switch, which ends there, on the bottom deck there. Now the reason why that is there is because this must not go too far one direction or the other, and that is done by putting these clips on the edge of the switch. And so now, with it all cleaned up, we have to put it back together again.
Offside decision in the 90th minute. We'll hear from both managers before 10:30 this evening, and then...
Well, there you are. It's working on medium wave at any rate. Long wave I'll look at in a minute, but long wave isn't that important, but medium wave certainly is, and as you hear there, it's working. Now, the fact it's working doesn't mean the job is finished, because now, with everything put together and the radio back in its case and screwed down, like that, we now have to look at the IF alignment. Now, the information I have here doesn't carry the IF frequency. I assume it's 455 or 465 or 470. I will check that and come back. But also what we have to do is work out from the circuit diagram here what is what and what we need to adjust. Now, first of all, the other circuit there, that capacitor is that one there, which I've changed. We've brought the volume control. The diode is there, that's that one there. So the first I have to form it is this one here. Yeah, that's the first one there. Yeah, and then it goes to this one here, this one here, and this one here. Now, with these transistors actually, and these transformers, you notice that unlike British and American sets, the capacitors are outside of the unit. This means that the little else can go wrong apart from the this cause going up circuit, and on this they're not. But first of all, it's there through that transistor, and that transistor there. I think it's a transistor there. Let's check. Yeah, that one, and that one, yeah, to there. So that one, so that one is that one there, and we'll look across here. And so that will be done at IF. Now RF on this, the RF side of it, with this set, I can't put the dial string back on, but I can go across the band fully with this, so I can use it. I can use it without it, because there's not many stations on the AM round here, and there's only 2 or 3 I listen to, so it's quite simple that way. But if we need it, the information for the dial is there, as a call there. Again, with this, everything is very well documented. Also, by the way, I took out, because it was short circuit, the switch on the jack plug here. Now on these sets, again, what happens is that these are a Russian fitting, and it's somewhere in between our 3.5 and our 2.5, so I can't actually use it anyway. So best with it out. And so now what we do is I'll find out what the IF is, and then it's that one, and that one. Yeah. Now the RF, of course, oscillator is here with these here, and that antenna here goes up to the aerial. So that's something else. So along here, and tweak it for maximum, and then get the RF sorted, and then job is, as they say, a good one. Right, well, the IF on this is 465 kilohertz on the diagram here. I'm afraid my reading of Russian is not terribly good, so not terribly good at that, I must admit. I didn't do Russian at school, maybe I should have done. But anyway, I do know from these 2 diagrams here which ones to adjust. That one. That's interesting. Okay, this is something else, not quite right, but whatever it is, it looks like it's on the could be an outside volume control, but it won't be the IF, so I just treat them right. There we are. It's these 3 here. Okay, now that noise, yeah, I noticed a few things here that which I spotted. Put my glasses on, and one of them is that the top of this tuning condenser. We'll turn this generator off. There we are. That, you see. Now I think it's coming from there. Now, Problems like this are very, very difficult to trace. Very difficult in fact. And so what I'll have to do at this point, therefore, check again and see what's where. Ah. Could be anything, is it? Could be anything. Remember, I have modified this 8 pulse gauge as per for the manual. It says that 81 to 8 fit, but whether they do or not, I don't know. That could be something. Yeah. Okay. Right, well first thing I do is make sure first of all I'll put the capacity in the right way around. Which I have. Okay, fine. That capacity in the right way around. The diagram, it's hard to spot the difference between ones and twos on this. So I think the next thing I'll do is put a 2.7 or another one across there and see if it's that doing it. See? See the hooked up. I mean, yeah, this could be, these sort of problems are very hard to find. There are on many of these sets the two capacitors on the battery side as well, which can cause this sort of thing, and there are these two here. So what I will do first of all is I will check that and check those, and maybe that will cure it. Again, I get a switch on like that. Get a capacitor with suitable value and go cracking. Okay, fine. Yeah, it's these two here. So the thing with this particular model is that the caps on the front here do actually need to be changed in a certain way. So if I was to, I might possibly just simply whip these two out and put two. The problem we have here now, to some people, is the fact that the Russian radio when taken apart, I'd loads of replacement parts in. It's not entirely Russian radio. Now, in this case, I'm not going to be too bothered because there's loads of these about, and I think that in the circumstances, maybe we can get away with doing unpleasant things for this one just to get it going, which is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to look for capacitors. So the ones it is are C30. Right, okay. C31, C32 and C37. Now C31 goes straight across the battery. That's no problem. We can that is probably the one that's a problem actually. But I can put that. I can easily sort that one. The others, again, I simply have to think about this. C32 and C37. C32 is C31, C32. Right, yeah, there's 3, aren't there? Okay, fine. So, listen, I'm not sure which is which here, but I'll just swap them out anyway. 50 magafarads, well, that's there's a different value for that. That's not too critical. 10 microfarads on the feedback, of course, yeah, maybe, and of course. I thought 20 microfarads there going to deck. So those 3, I think, need to come out. Well, one of them isn't actually in, surprisingly. Again, I don't know why, but there you go. So again, I do wonder about this quite a lot. The top one is missing, it would seem. So anyway, I'll put the 3 of them back in and we'll try again with it. Now, with sets of motorboating problems, it can be quite hard to find. With this, actually, there were 2 or 3 faults that were causing it, and I've got them all now, I think. First of all, on the input, there's a capacitor which is right across the battery. That's been changed. As a 2 to deck on one, and 1 to deck on another one. That's been changed for 1. That's these here. Let's find out for it. That's those 2 there, and of course there's one across the mains as well, which please see more on the diagram. Also, the transistors that I put it in were AF128s, which are a bit different, and the caps across them here. On this one, there's a transformer. On this set, because it varies, but I put them where they were before. 10 nanofarads. I've also changed the cap coming off the diode as well. That's a 15. I put a 10 in because it's all I had, but it works fine with it. You know, that is just to tamper off any RF or IF that's remaining down to deck. Also, these sets, they have either a 1 or a 3 microfarad cap because volume control, which is here. On this set, it was a 1. I put a 3 in. I've gone back down to a 1, and that's okay. Also, the switches, which has been taken out and cleaned, and of course the antenna coil here has also been refitted as well. And also with this one, the tuning capacitor here, I'll find a screwdriver that's not got bits on it. There we are. It's faulty, so that too. I should it shut, but with the bits of plastic from the soldering iron. So this, after all this, is now done. Not as it was, because it couldn't be after what had happened to it, but it now does actually work. So now we have another problem, which is putting the thing back together again. On this set, it might be an interesting job, interesting task. It might be easy, it might be hard, we don't know. But we do know that this particular set has had a very rough life, and I've had to do quite a lot to it to sort it out, which is now what I've done, but in time. So now I have to put this thing back together again. Also with this, I noticed that quite a few of the bits inside it were missing as well. And so I'm going to put it together slightly differently, but then I'll try it again to make sure it still works. Because you have to do that, because I don't know exactly what caused the motorboating. I just changed all the parts that would cause it, and it seems to have gone. It may come back, I don't know, but it seems okay for now. So what I'll do, I'll put the thing back together again, and we'll take it from there. Well, here it is back in its case. I had to put it back in its case because in this particular instance, the case was in fact warped as well, so I couldn't get hold without the case holding it in together, which is what I've done.
The key Starmer is self-isolating.
And there you are, working away quite happily now with all bands. Not sure because of course copyright rules, but there you are. It's now working happily on all bands and not motorboating. Oh, by the way, you might notice if you look at these sets that rushing capacitors tend to look a bit like that inside the set. Just hold it close, there you are. This actually holds 3 capacitors. All those one cylinder, because this is the one from the power supply side. What you do, they're all in here, and you put the whole thing out and replace. You can, if you're feeling that way inclined, you can actually take out the capacitors and put new ones in, but that is where the Russians mount their electrolytics, so that's something to look out for. With these sets, the Sokol, lots of them, very few are as bad as this one been. This one has been abused in the past, and like I said previously, it's a very plucky little register working at all, quite frankly, and I've put a lot more work into this than is really than is legally, no, not legally, militarily makes sense, I mean, if I was doing this and looking to sell this set on, then I wouldn't be able to, because of course I spent a lot more time on this, and probably the parts I put in it will probably cost more than the set cost me to get across it from Russia. Anyway, this one is actually a genuine Russian one. But there you go, it's working. Also with these, they ran from 1970s until the early 80s, and there are a number of different revisions, so, but they're all documented online. This one actually, the 2 diagrams, here and here, I just hold them up there, yeah, see that one and that one. They are different, although things like where things go on the board, that's common to them all. Positive ground, by the way, so when you're changing capacitors, positive always goes to deck on electrolytics, always where it fills, otherwise they'll go bang on you, or do something and something. Anyway, also try and fit components that are a bit above the battery life as well. That's it really. When they work, and many of them do, the good sets. This one, yes, I've done a lot to it, but now hope I have shown you the things that go wrong with them and how to sort them out. I know that some of you like to put the Russian components in place and put the Western components under the chassis. That is fine, you can do that. I didn't with this one because it's had so much done to it. I thought, well, I don't make things worse, so I just kept it as it was, apart from the bits that I've changed. So yeah, a Sokol 403. Most of them worked very well. This one didn't. It does now. And so until next time, from Steve Pedalbit in the workshop here. Be careful in these interesting times. My back's in it soon, by the way, and I'll be with you soon something else. So until then, God bless whoever your God is. be loyal to him, and take care. And remember, keep fixing radios. Bye bye.